This is a Hot Pie Media original.
Oh, poor old Joe is boxed in, man. This is it's an interesting problem, and I don't think he has a way out. Gas prices. I am admittedly naive about why gas prices are supposed to be supply and demand. I know that. I'm certainly no expert on the economics of it, but certainly most people should be an expert on supply and demand. Oh, Joe's boxed in because historically, I mean, if this wasn't such a red hot economy, you are toast. Many of us remember you are toast if gas prices go up. Gas prices go up, you're done. Fair, unfair, righteous or not, you're historically done. So he's in this space now. And I know a lot of right-wingers use it against him. And I think it's fair to an extent to use it against him. They're mostly going to be wrong about the economics. They don't know what they're talking about. But he's boxed in because he's got gas prices high and it's being used to beat him over the head. Fine. But he can't, he comes in with an environmentalist agenda. So there's only so much he can do. I mean, he's really boxed in. So I'm reading up on, we think we know why gas prices are high. I thought I knew why gas prices are high. I thought it's a function of supply and demand is through the roof like everything. I mean, we're naturally going to have I know this is hard for most people to comprehend, certainly in a political world where they're just stupid, but red hot demand produces higher costs. You want to reduce costs, what do? Well, you would increase that supply, correct? So that's what we thought would happen to gas. Well, we're not OPEC, okay? We're not. I mean, these are private companies, and he can't, for both reasons, he can't say, open them up, man, get the wells going. One, he can't do that. It's certainly not his right. He's not OPEC. Two, he can't do that politically because it would be, even if he could, it would backfire on him on the other side of his agenda. So he's stuck. But take him out of it, which I know is impossible for most political maggots. Reading about this, thinking, okay, interesting. Why aren't there more wells? What's going on? Oh, I know what the standard argument is. Well, the Biden administration won't let them. No, they won't do it on purpose. And it kind of makes sense. So I'm reading about this. Here you go. This is money markets. The oil and gas sector was easily the stock market's biggest loser in the 2010s. Anyone who's lived in this state knows the boom, right? Fracking, drilling. We became independent, oil independent. This economy was on fire. Drill. And then the 2010s hit and they dry up. COVID hits, demand goes down dramatically. So now's their chance to make it back. Gasoline prices have surged to 7-year highs, and Wall Street banks are warning that $100 or even $120 oil is on its way. Okay, now you're thinking, oh, wow. More supply. What's up? What's up is they want to get the margins. That's what's up. They want to make more money. That's what's up. Yet, U.S. oil companies are in no rush to come to the rescue, leaving the White House facing pressure from its own party to intervene in energy markets. I mean, he's that guy. He's really aging in dog years because he's got to be looking at this issue thinking, oh, gosh, I got to encourage more supply. And then the oil business is saying, screw that. We're on borrowed time, man. We got to realize margins. The banks are telling us we need margins right now, so we're not going to increase supply. We need to max out what we have because we're on borrowed time. He's saying, crap, the price is going to stay high. Then he can't tell them to open up more wells because the other side of his agenda is you better not do that. John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of Atx Hot Sauce in all 50 states, now in several retail outlets as well. So we're going to turn it over to the social media rock chef superstar, and we're going to walk through a few sauces and why you should buy. We've done beet heat, so we're second in line now for the tasting. Don't forget, everyone, go to atxhotsauce.com. So here we go.
All right, so this one is our smoked habanero 5-pepper. We smoke habaneros with ancho, pasilla.
Is that going to hurt?
This one? No,
Yeah.
this one's actually really, really good.
Okay.
This is like your traditional tapatilla, but without the vinegar in it, right? And because of that fermentation process that we've talked about all the time. This one is great on sandwiches, pizzas, things like that. Great on hot wings. I think you're going to really like this one too, especially the smoky flavor with the adobe chipotle and the smoked habaneros. We actually smoked the habaneros before we.
Does that go with the cab?
This would not go with cab. This would go with the great Chenin Blanc, though.
I teed you up with that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That is good.
That's good. Isn't that good? It's just classic take. Well, it's a new take on a classic item. So it's called smoked habanero 5-pepper.
All right, don't forget
One
ATX.
of my favorites.
Don't forget atxhotsauce.com. This is interesting. Now take this. I think it's fascinating. What's changed is that under immense pressure from Wall Street, Wall Street shareholders, oil companies are finally trying to live within their means. Even though crude has surged above $85 a barrel amid roaring demand, drillers are only gradually adding to supply, which of course would piss you off on one hand, but what they're doing is, because they took such a beating in the 2010s, I don't know enough about how they run themselves, but the big criticism on Wall Street was, you guys don't run yourselves very well. You don't realize margins at the level you should realize margins. So Wall Street is on their ass. There's not many of them left anyway. And so they're saying, no, don't you increase supply. We need to make some money. Keep supply down, price high. I mean, sort of makes sense. OPEC nations, oil production. Unlike OPEC nations, oil production is set by private enterprise and the free market, not government leaders. Still, in theory, Biden could hold talks with oil CEOs and urge them to turn on the taps and ease the pain on American drivers. But if you think about the position he's in, he really can't even go there. He could try to do it quietly, but if it gets out, half of his agenda is shot. Not that it's going well anyway. So they could turn around and put the squeeze on him and go, you know what? All right, we'll throw you a bone, buddy. We'll open up. We'll get some more supply. You got to do this for us. He can't do that either. He can't get in bed at all with that industry because half of his agenda is not about that, is anti that industry. So what they're doing, from what I'm reading, and makes perfect sense, is that they are just going to keep the price high because they can for right now, and because they got to answer to shareholders right now. And I think they probably realize we're never going to see these. We may never see these prices again. So we might as well make it now because Wall Street wants us to make it now. Wall Street is yelling at us about margins. So let's give them some margins. That's it. Demand is high. Normally, the best cure for high prices is high prices, which incentivize more supply. And yet, even though U.S. oil prices have surged by more than 65%, now listen to this. This is real data. This is real numbers. Even though oil prices have surged by more than 65%, U.S. oil production is 14% below the level of 2019. They're not going to open it up at all. Here's an analyst. They matter. They're not politicians. They matter. It's not the government that is banning them from drilling. It's pressure from their shareholders. And I know in the world of talk radio, in the dumbass world of talk radio, you say, oh, Biden. No, it's the shareholders saying, no, man, I want my stock price to go up. I need it. Don't you open up more. You keep that price as high as you can because demand is as high as you can. And if we release more supply, it might drive it down a little bit. Now, some would argue, well, but we could all make more money that way. Screw it. Give me my margins. So it's not what most of us have grown up with. One, is it the end of a president when prices, approach $4 a gallon or more? No, but it hurts. He can't argue about it and can't push them or get involved with them because he's promised a environmentally friendly anti-drilling agenda. They, on the other hand, are purposely restricting supply so they can reach the margins they want. Now, this is a story that's not told very well, and I think, unfortunately, because most Americans follow most sellout, screw-up politicians and only care about the politics of it, the politics is a part, but this is a shareholder-driven issue.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios in Austin, Texas, it's the Jeff Ward Show. Listen at jeffwardshow.com.